I parked my car in the dark alley behind Madison's building, heart hammering. Okay, Ethan, chill, I muttered to myself. Just a little surprise. She's going to love it. I tugged at the red sweater she bought me last Christmas. Goofy, yes, but she always said it made me look cute. Tonight it was my armor. I knocked lightly on the door, then harder when no one answered. Mads? It's me. My voice echoed down the empty hallway. No response. I fumbled with my keys, finally unlocking the door. The instant it creaked open, a whisper froze me. Wait, did you hear that? It wasn't Madison. I stepped inside slowly. Hello? Madison. A laugh. Soft, familiar. Too familiar. Ethan? That voice. Ryan. My chest slammed shut. I froze, sweater tight against my skin. Hey man, Ryan stammered, looking guilty. I tried to process the scene. Madison was there and they were close. Too close. My mind scrambled. What the hell is going on? I asked, voice cracking. Madison turned, eyes wide, panic on her face. Ethan. It's not what it looks like. Not what it looks like? I echoed, laughter bitter and dry. You're sitting on my best friend's lap, kissing him, and it's not what it looks like? Ryan swallowed hard. Ethan, man, don't. Just don't. My hand shook. I trusted you too. Ethan, I can explain. Madison pleaded. Explain? Really? I laughed through tears. You've got 4 years of I love yous to explain, Mads? 4 years of promises. Ryan finally spoke, voice low. It was a mistake, man. I never wanted to hurt you. A mistake. My fists clenched. You think this is a joke? A mistake? You've ruined everything. I'm sorry. Madison cried. I swear it meant nothing, Ethan. Please. Stop. I yelled. My voice bounced off the walls, sharp, breaking. I can't even look at either of you right now. The room spun. I wanted to stay, to scream, to hit something. But I couldn't. I dropped the gift I'd bought her on the counter. The wrapping paper curled on the floor like the last shred of my trust. I need to leave, I said, voice barely above a whisper. My legs carried me out of her apartment almost automatically. Ethan, wait. Madison called. Please just listen. I shook my head, chest heaving. No, I can't. You don't get it. You never get it. Ryan stepped forward, hesitant. Man, please, just what? I cut him off. Just tell me I meant nothing? That our friendship meant nothing? My voice broke completely. You were supposed to have my back. You were supposed to be my brother. The hallway felt endless. I could hear Madison crying, Ryan muttering apologies I didn't want to hear. My world had shifted, collapsed. I kept walking. Each step felt heavier, like dragging a weight I didn't know I could bear. I tried to remember their faces, but all I saw was the red sweater, my armor, smeared with betrayal. Ethan, please? Madison's voice faded behind me. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I reached my car, hands trembling as I slid behind the wheel. My mind raced. Anger. Heartbreak. Confusion. I gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I can't believe this, I whispered. My phone buzzed. A text from Ryan. We need to talk. I threw the phone onto the passenger seat. Silence filled the car. Just me. And the echo of what I'd just seen. The night felt colder than it had any right to. I started the engine, hands still shaking, and drove into the darkness. Somewhere between fury and despair, I realized nothing would ever be the same. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be. I froze in the doorway, sweater tight against my chest, my breath rattling like broken glass. Madison's eyes were wide, but not with fear, panic. Ryan looked like a kid caught stealing candy, face pale, eyes darting everywhere but me. Ethan? Madison's voice cracked. Don't, I said, cutting her off before she could finish. Just, don't. It's not what it looks like, she gasped. Not what it looks like? I laughed bitterly. Sitting on my best friend's lap? Kissing him? My hands trembled. Do you hear yourself? She stumbled over words like they were stones. Was what? I pressed, voice shaking. Was this some kind of mistake? Some joke? Ryan finally muttered, Ethan, man? I didn't mean what? I asked, voice rising. To destroy my life? To ruin our friendship? Madison took a step forward. Ethan, please, I can explain. Explain? I echoed, voice hollow. 4 years, Madison. 4 years of US of trust, and this is the explanation. She winced, voice soft. I messed up. I shouldn't have. You shouldn't have what? Chosen him over me? Lied in my face every day. My throat felt raw. Do you even hear yourself? Ryan hung his head. I never wanted to hurt you, man. I swear. I screwed up. Swear? Swear. I barked, laughter trembling into tears. I trusted you like a brother, Ryan. You were supposed to have my back, not? Ethan, stop. Madison shouted, desperation cutting through her words. I didn't mean for this to happen. Didn't mean for this to happen? My hands flew to my face. I live my life trusting people, Mats. And you too, you just destroyed everything. There was a silence that hung heavier than any words. My heartbeat filled it. Too loud, too fast. Every thought collided in my skull. I couldn't breathe, couldn't speak. Just stare. I need to leave, I whispered finally, voice tight. No, Ethan, wait. Madison begged, tears falling now. Please. Just listen to me. I shook my head. I can't. I can't hear anything from either of you right now. You don't get it. You never get it. Ryan's voice was low. Ethan, please. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. My hands clutched at my sweater as if holding on could stop the hurt. Sorry doesn't take back the lies. Sorry doesn't make 4 years vanish. Madison stepped closer. I love you, Ethan. I swear I still. I laughed bitterly. Love. Well, you call this love? Cheating? Betrayal? That's love to you? Ethan, please don't. Leave me alone. I snapped. My voice cracked in a way that made me shiver. My legs moved before my brain could catch up. I walked toward the door, ignoring the sound of Madison crying, ignoring Ryan mumbling apologies that sounded fake even to me. I reached the threshold. My gift, the sweater she loved, lay crumpled on the floor. I didn't pick it up. I couldn't. I didn't even want to. My hands felt empty, like I'd left my soul behind. Ethan, please? Madison's voice faded behind me. I didn't turn back. I stepped into the hallway, every footfall echoing like a drum of finality. My chest ached, my mind a storm of disbelief and rage. I'd never felt so exposed, so small. Ryan called after me, voice tight, pleading. Man, we can fix this. Just. No, I whispered. There's nothing to fix. The elevator doors dinged open and I didn't wait for it to stop. I let them close around me and pressed the button for the street. Cold air hit me like reality. I sank into the corner of the elevator, staring at the floor, listening to my own breath. I repeated their names over and over in my head. Madison. Ryan. Madison. Ryan. The taste of betrayal burned. And I realized in that quiet, bitter moment, nothing would ever be the same again. I didn't know if I would ever trust anyone again. I gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles hurt, headlights cutting through the dark like knives. Where the hell am I going? I muttered, voice low, shaking. Nowhere, nowhere fast enough. I hit the horn once, angrily at no one. God, I hate you both, I yelled at the empty road. Madison, Ryan. I trusted you. My voice echoed off the buildings, bouncing back at me like a slap. Tears blurred my vision. I wiped them away, but more came. What? Why now? I whispered, gripping the wheel like it could hold my heart together. I slammed the wheel once, then laughed bitterly. I'm pathetic. Yeah, that's it. I'm a joke. Red lights flashed ahead. I stopped at a signal and let the silence of the night fill the car. My mind replayed their faces, Madison's panic, Ryan's guilt, their whispered excuses. You were supposed to be my world, I said aloud. And you destroyed it. Both of you. I wiped my face, shaking my head. I can't even think straight. By some reflex, my hand steered toward my sister's street. Claire. I didn't call, I didn't even text. I just drove. The city slept. I didn't care. When I reached her house, I parked and sat in silence. The house was quiet, warm light spilling from the windows. I hesitated. I can't walk in like this. The door opened before I could knock. Ethan? Claire's voice was sharp, concerned. What are you doing here? I choked. I didn't know where else to go. She stepped outside, arms crossed. You look like hell. Spill it. I saw them. I started, voice trembling. Madison. Ryan, together. Claire's face softened slightly. Oh, Ethan, she stepped closer. Come inside. I shook my head. I can't. I don't know what I need. Bullshit. She grabbed my arm. You need help, and I'm the only one who's going to give it to you right now. I can't even. my voice cracked. I can't think straight. You don't have to think straight. Just breathe. Claire pulled me into the house. Warmth hit me, the smell of coffee and her familiar calm. Mark, her husband, appeared from the kitchen. Hey Ethan. Everything okay? I shook my head violently. No. Nothing's okay. Mark crouched slightly level with my eyes. Talk to us. Don't hold it in. I sank onto the couch, hiding my face. They betrayed me. Both of them. I trusted them like family and I trailed off, voice barely audible. Claire sat next to me, firm but gentle. Betrayal hurts. It stings. But it can also wake you up. Maybe this is your beginning, Ethan, not your end. I laughed bitterly, wiping my eyes. Beginning? My heart is shattered. Beginning sounds impossible. It's not impossible, Claire said firmly. You survived every call you've ever been on, every emergency. This is another kind of survival. One you can control. Mark handed me a mug. You need something warm. Sit. Let it out. Don't bottle it up. I stared at the mug, trembling. I feel numb, angry, humiliated. I don't know which comes first. Claire leaned back, arms crossed, watching me carefully. Start with anger. Name it. Let it out. Then we figure out the rest. I hate them, I admitted, voice low. I hate Madison. I hate Ryan. Good, she said calmly. That's honest. Anger is energy. Don't let it destroy you. Channel it. Mark nodded. She's right. You're not broken. You're just raw. And raw can heal if you let it. I finally looked up at them, eyes wet. I don't know if I can. Claire smiled softly. You can. You will. One step at a time. But first you stay here tonight. We'll start from there. I sank back into the couch, letting my head rest against the cushions. The night outside was still dark, but inside, I felt a flicker of something I hadn't in hours. Safety. Care. A thread I could hold on to. And maybe, just maybe, survival wasn't impossible. My phone buzzed again. I ignored it. And then again. Madison. Ryan. Every ping felt like a slap. I don't care, I muttered. I don't want to hear from either of you. Buzz. Another message. I finally looked. Ryan. I opened it reluctantly. Best night ever. Ethan had no clue. She's mine now. LOL. I froze, phone trembling in my hands. What the actual? Claire, sitting across from me with a mug of coffee, leaned forward. Ethan, what? I held out the phone. Read this. Ryan. Bragging about us. About me. To someone else. Do you get how messed up this is? Her brow furrowed. Oh, that's cruel. Cruel? I felt like someone had carved a hole in my chest. Cruel? Claire, he humiliated me. My best friend. My brother. And Madison, she didn't stop him. She smiled at it, probably laughed. I can't. You don't have to be a victim anymore, Claire said softly. You're letting them walk over you. And you're stronger than that. I threw the phone onto the couch. I can't. I feel sick, angry, humiliated. I don't know what to do with any of it. Claire stood. Then start by acknowledging it. Don't bottle it in. Feel it, name it, own it. Then we figure out the next step. I ran my hands over my face. I trusted them. I really trusted them. And they didn't even care. Not mistakes, Claire said firmly. Choices. They chose to hurt you. Accepting that is painful, but it's power, Ethan. Power over how you react. Not revenge. Not anger for destruction. But anger to rebuild yourself. I shook my head. I don't know if I can rebuild anything. It feels empty. Mark, Claire's husband, appeared in the doorway. Hey Ethan. You okay? Not okay. Never okay again, I muttered. He crouched beside me. You will be. But first stop letting them control you through guilt and shame. This is about you, not them. I stared at him. You don't get it. They were my world. My trust, my friendship, everything. I get it, Mark said quietly. But you don't need them to define you anymore. You need to define yourself. Claire nodded, pointing to my phone. Delete it. Stop checking. Stop letting them have power over your emotions. I hesitated. I can't just ignore them. Yes, you can, she said. You're stronger than their lies. And the more you feed them, the more control they have. Do you want that? No, I whispered. Then stop, she said simply. I took a deep breath. Okay, I'll try. But I don't know how to start. Therapy, Claire said matter of fact. You need someone to guide you. Someone who can help you process this without losing yourself. Therapy. I scoffed quietly. Like talking to a stranger? Yes, a stranger who knows how to help you, Claire said. Dr. Avery Lane. Best in the city. He doesn't judge. He just helps. And maybe helps you see what you already know. What they did was their choice, not yours. I ran a hand through my hair, frustration twisting my stomach. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't know, justice? Karma? Something? Claire's eyes softened. You don't need revenge, Ethan. You need freedom from them. From the control they've had over your emotions. That's the start of justice for yourself. Mark reached over, resting a hand on my shoulder. You survived everything else. You can survive this. And when you do, you'll be stronger than you ever imagined. I swallowed hard. Stronger, yeah, maybe. But first, I need to stop letting them ruin me. That's the first step, Claire said. Step 1. And it's enough to begin. I picked up my phone again and for the first time deleted Ryan's message. Then Madison's. Each swipe felt like cutting a chain. My chest still ached, but a small part of me lifted. Okay, I said, voice tight but steady. Step 1. Exactly, Claire said, smiling. Step by step. You're not broken. You're just learning to fight for yourself. And for the first time since it all started, I believed her. I stared at my reflection in the mirror before heading out. Okay, Ethan, I muttered. Time to stop feeling sorry for yourself. The phone buzzed. Madison. I ignored it. Again. And again. Ryan tried texting too. I left the phone on the counter. Silence felt like victory. Ready? Claire asked from the kitchen. I nodded. Yeah. Therapy. Let's do this. Dr. Avery Lane's office was calm, quiet. No judgment in the walls. I took a seat, hands clasped. Ethan, welcome, he said, voice steady. Tell me why you're here. I don't know, I admitted. I need help processing everything. Madison. Ryan. I trusted them. Betrayal, he said softly. Exactly, I whispered. Betrayal. And I can't stop thinking about it. I can't breathe. Anger is normal, he said. Pain too. But the question is, what do you do with it? I don't want revenge. Not really. I don't even want them in my life, I admitted. But I can't let go. Then start small. Focus on yourself. Your actions, your goals. Not them. I nodded slowly. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. After therapy, I went straight to the station. My job had been a refuge before, and now I needed it again. Ethan. Long time no see, Lucas Grant called from across the garage. Firefighter, big grin, the kind of energy you couldn't ignore. Lucas, I said, forcing a smile. Yeah, it's been a while. He clapped me on the shoulder. Man, you look beat. Everything okay? I shrugged. Personal stuff. Trying to get back into it. Well, don't just stand there. Grab a hose. Let's see if you still got it. I laughed, a real laugh for the first time in weeks. Yeah, all right. Let's do this. We ran drills, lifted, sweated. Every push, every movement felt like I was reclaiming a part of myself. See, Lucas said, wiping his brow. There's still good in the world right here. Not everyone's a backstabber. Yeah, I muttered, catching my breath. Feels good to feel normal again. Later, sitting on the bench, we shared a quiet moment. You know, Lucas said, life's full of idiots but also people like you. You just have to find them. I nodded, staring at my hands. I know. But I keep thinking, should I do something? Say something? Make them feel anything? No, Lucas said firmly. Let them live their mistakes. Your job isn't to punish. Your job is to heal and grow. I looked at him, realizing he was right. Still, the fire inside me burned, a quiet ember waiting. Not for revenge maybe, but for strength. My phone buzzed again. Madison. I didn't pick it up. Ryan. Ignored. You're stronger than they'll ever understand, Lucas said. Sometimes silence is louder than yelling. I smiled faintly. Yeah, feels like that. Feels like I'm finally in control. The rest of the evening I pushed myself harder. Extra laps, extra drills. Sweat washed some of the anger out, but it was still there, under the surface. I've missed this, I admitted quietly. Just working hard, focusing on something real. Then don't stop, Lucas said. Don't let them poison your life. Let your fire burn for you, not them. I nodded, feeling the truth in his words. Every call I take, every patient I help, it's mine. Not theirs. Not Madison's. Not Ryan's. Mine. As I left the station, the city lights blurred slightly through my tired eyes. I felt the ember inside me glow brighter. Anger still there, betrayal still raw, but now I had a purpose beyond it. And for the first time in weeks I felt alive. The hospital was quieter than usual when Olivia Perez slid into the break room beside me. "Hey Ethan, you got a minute?" I raised an eyebrow. "Sure. What's up?" She hesitated, biting her lip. "It's about Madison and Ryan." I stiffened. "What about them?" "Well, I don't know how to say this gently," she said, voice careful. "But things aren't going well for them." "What do you mean?" I asked, trying not to sound too eager. Olivia shrugged. "Madison's been showing up late for work. Her boss finally fired her last week. And Ryan, he got into a fight at his job. Suspended for 2 weeks." I felt my stomach tighten, a strange mixture of relief and disbelief. "Wait, seriously? That's karma?" I whispered, unsure if I should feel satisfaction. "I wouldn't call it karma," Olivia said gently. "Just life catching up with choices, maybe. I thought you should know, but no judgment here." I stared down at my hands. "I can't lie, Olivia. Part of me wants to feel happy about it. Not proud, not gloating, but relieved, I guess." "You're allowed," she said. "You didn't do anything. Their mistakes are theirs. You're just observing the consequences." "Yeah," I exhaled slowly. "It's weird. I keep thinking I should feel bad. But they betrayed me. They made their choices." Olivia smiled softly. "Exactly. You didn't break them. You didn't cause this. You just survived." I nodded, leaning back against the wall. It's like, finally, their world is shaking without me touching it. For the first time, I'm not the one being torn apart. "That's called peace," Olivia said, shrugging. "You didn't even realize you were missing it until now." I laughed quietly, a sound that felt like it belonged to me again. "Peace, yeah. I think I forgot what that felt like." Olivia leaned forward. "And Ethan? Sleep matters too. You can't heal if you don't rest. Your anger can wait, your mind can't." "I know," I said, rubbing my eyes. "I haven't slept properly in I don't know how long." "You will now," she said. "I can already see the change. You're not reacting to them anymore. You're observing. That's huge progress." I ran a hand through my hair. "It feels weirdly satisfying. But calm. Not mean-spirited. Just right." Olivia nodded. "Exactly. That's the difference between revenge and karma. You're witnessing natural consequences, not causing them." "I guess I always imagined myself yelling, screaming, hurting them somehow," I admitted. "But this feels cleaner. Better. Because it's theirs to live," she said. "Not yours to manage." I smiled faintly, a small but genuine curve of my lips. "It's strange. I feel free. Like I can finally move forward without dragging them along in my head." "That's the goal," Olivia said. "Step by step you're reclaiming your life. Focus on work, on healing, on yourself." I think I'm ready," I said quietly, "to let go of some of this anger. Not all. The fire's still there, but it doesn't burn me like it did." Olivia laughed softly. "Good. That's progress. That's growth." I checked my watch. I should get back to rounds. "But thanks for telling me, for being honest. I don't think anyone else would have." "You'd do the same for me," she said with a grin. "Besides, you need to see that life doesn't always favor the guilty. Sometimes it just evens out on its own." I nodded, letting her words sink in. Walking through the quiet hospital halls, I felt lighter. No buzzing phone, no betrayals, no guilt. Just me. That night, I lay in bed and finally slept. Not restless, not replaying scenes. Just deep, uninterrupted sleep. For the first time since everything broke apart, I felt okay. Whole even. And for once, I wasn't afraid of the morning. I heard a knock at the door. Not a timid one, firm, desperate. I looked through the peephole and froze. Madison, soaked from the evening rain, standing on the porch, mascara streaked, eyes wide. "Ethan, please," she cried, voice trembling. Can we talk?" I opened the door slowly. "Talk?" I asked, voice calm. Too calm. "Yes. I just want a chance. To explain, to say I'm sorry." I stepped aside. "Come in." My tone was neutral, almost chilling. She entered, shivering. I don't even know where to start. "I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you." I held up a hand. "Stop. Don't. Just listen." Her eyes searched mine, panicked. "Ethan, you're angry. I get it. I'm not angry, I said quietly. Not really. You didn't break me. She blinked, confusion and hope flickering across her face. You what? You heard me. You didn't break me. You opened my eyes. My voice was steady, almost flat. I feel nothing for you anymore. Nothing. Just emptiness. She staggered back a step, hands trembling. Ethan, that's... I made a mistake. I regret it. I regret everything. I nodded. Good. You should. Feel it fully. That's yours to live with. Tears streamed down her face. Please. I love you. I want to fix it. We can fix it. I shook my head, voice calm. No. You can't fix me. You can't fix what you destroyed, or what you revealed. I've moved past it. You just have to live with it. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. Ethan, please. I'll do anything. Anything. I knelt briefly to meet her gaze. You can't. And I don't want anything from you. Not apologies, not explanations, nothing. The door you opened, it's closed for me now. Her cries grew louder, ragged. I can't. I stood and walked toward the door. I'm done here. Before I could leave, my phone buzzed. Ryan. Text after text, desperate, pleading. I ignored every single one. Then I heard his knock, loud, insistent. I opened the door again. Ryan stood there, eyes wide, face red. Ethan. I need to talk. Please. Just let me explain. I looked at him calmly, almost eerily so. You also didn't break me, Ryan. You just showed me who you really are. Regret looks hollow on you. It always has. His mouth opened, closed. Ethan. I swear I... Stop, I said quietly. I've seen enough. I've heard enough. You can feel guilty all you want, but it changes nothing. Not my life. Not my choices. Not me. He staggered back, shaking. But... I'm sorry. I shut the door gently but firmly. The rain pounded the roof as I leaned against the door, silent. For the first time, I felt a strange calm. Later that night, I sat at my desk. Pen in hand. Paper before me. Not for them. Not to accuse, not to demand anything. For me. I wrote, I survived. I was broken, yes, but not by them. I survived betrayal, lies, humiliation, and cruelty. I'm still here. I'm still me. I am allowed to be angry, sad, and hurt, but I am also allowed to heal. I am allowed to grow. I am allowed to be whole. The words flowed easily, sharper than any revenge, purer than any anger. I looked out the window. Rain-streaked glass. The world outside was quiet. My heart, though bruised, felt lighter. And for the first time in months, I believed that nothing, no one, could touch my core again. Not Madison. Not Ryan. Not anyone. I set the pen down. The letter wasn't finished yet, but it didn't need to be. The act itself was enough. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. The station buzzed with activity when my captain called me into his office. Ethan, congratulations, he said, smiling. You're being promoted to lead paramedic. Your dedication and skill haven't gone unnoticed. I blinked, disbelief warring with pride. Lead paramedic? I asked, my voice tighter than I expected. Yes, he said. You've earned it. Handle it well. I will, I said quietly, swallowing the lump in my throat. Later that evening, I joined Lucas at the volunteer rescue training site. You ready to push yourself? He asked, grinning. Yeah, I said, feeling the fire inside me burn. Not anger, not revenge, just energy I could finally channel. Let's do this. We ran drills, lifted heavy equipment, and practiced rescues in conditions that tested both body and mind. You're getting stronger every session, Lucas said, clapping me on the back. Feels good, I admitted. Not just physical. Mental too. I'm finally me again. Lucas nodded. That's what it's about, man. You're reclaiming your life. Meanwhile, whispers reached me about Madison and Ryan. Olivia had texted first, cautiously. Ethan, just so you know. Madison got evicted. Ryan moved out. They've split. I stared at the screen, feeling nothing. Relief? Maybe. Satisfaction? Possibly. But not the old fire. Just calm. Later, Ryan's name popped up again. His message read, I finally understand your pain, Ethan. I'm sorry for everything. I stared at it for a long moment, then deleted it. No response. No satisfaction. Just closure. At therapy with Dr. Avery, I spoke quietly. It's strange. I feel like karma happened, but I didn't make it happen. I just moved on. That's exactly it, Ethan, he said. You let them live their choices. You didn't engineer their downfall. You created your rise. That's the difference between revenge and self-respect. I leaned back, considering his words. I used to think I needed to hurt them to feel better. But now, I realize it's enough to heal myself. Dr. Avery nodded. Exactly. Your life isn't about them. It never was. It's about who you are and who you're becoming. On my way home, I passed Madison's old building. I paused, thinking about the chaos she left behind. That was her choice, I whispered. Not mine. I pocketed my phone and walked past, shoulders straight, chest open. No rage. No longing. Just forward. The next day at work, my promotion was official. I led a team on a challenging call. Every decision, every move felt confident, deliberate. I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. During lunch, Lucas nudged me. See? You've got your fire, but it's not burning down anything. It's lighting your path. I smiled. Yeah, it's different now. I'm not reacting. I'm choosing. Later, I reflected on the months behind me. Betrayal, heartbreak, humiliation. All of it was raw, but it shaped me. Not into someone bitter, not into someone vengeful, but into someone who knew his worth. I picked up my journal, writing quietly, I survived. I grew. I chose myself over anger, peace over revenge. The world shifted and so did I. My life was never meant to follow their path. It was meant to be mine. Lucas texted later, ready for next training tomorrow? I smiled, typing back, always. That night, I lay in bed thinking of Madison and Ryan. Not with hatred. Not with longing. Just observation. Their choices led them where they are. My choices led me here. And this feeling, calm but strong, is everything. I closed my eyes, knowing I had risen and they had fallen. Not because I acted, but because life eventually returns balance to those who create chaos. And for the first time in months, I felt fully, undeniably, free. I found a letter slipped under my apartment door. My name scrawled across it in Madison's handwriting. I hesitated, then tore it open. Inside was the red sweater, the one I wore the night everything broke. My chest tightened. Of course you do this, I muttered, voice low, barely audible. I unfolded the letter. Ethan, I can't believe what I've done. I lost the best person in my life. I don't expect forgiveness, I just want you to know I regret everything. I held the sweater in my hands, fingers brushing the fabric. Memories flickered, not of love but of betrayal. I didn't say anything aloud. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Just cold, calm acceptance. This is over, I whispered to myself. Not you. Not us. Just over. I grabbed my keys. On the way to the donation center, I kept the sweater folded neatly, like a relic I was about to release. When I walked in, the volunteer looked up. Can I help you? Yes, I said. I'd like to donate this. And say goodbye. She raised an eyebrow. Goodbye. I set the sweater on the counter. To my past. Not to anyone here. Just me. She nodded, quietly respectful. I left without looking back. Outside, the wind bit at my face, but it felt refreshing, like shedding weight I didn't know I carried. At home, I sat at my desk. The letter lay unopened next to me. I stared at it. The words repeated themselves in my mind, but I didn't feel the old anger. I felt cold. Detached. I whispered, more to myself than anyone else, goodbye, Ethan, the one who thought he needed them to feel alive. I folded the letter neatly and placed it in a drawer. The past was stored, but it wouldn't touch me again. Later, the doorbell rang. I froze for a second. Not expecting anyone, I opened it cautiously. Empty porch. The city hummed behind me. I laughed softly. Of course. It's always me alone now. I stepped inside and locked the door behind me. My apartment smelled like nothing, clean and neutral. A blank slate. I walked through each room, touching walls, imagining furniture moved differently, imagining life redesigned. I can rebuild, I whispered. I will rebuild. I picked up my phone. No messages from Madison, no desperate texts from Ryan. Silence finally. I sat on the couch, hands clasped together. I survived them. I survived me. And now, it's just me. The thought didn't bring pain or sorrow. Just possibility. I could shape the next chapter of my life. The anger had burned itself out, the hurt had cooled. Only resolve remained. I glanced at the hallway mirror. The reflection staring back wasn't broken. Not fully. Not anymore. Scarred, sure. Hardened, yes. But awake. Alive. A man who had walked through fire and didn't need to chase the flames anymore. I stood and moved toward the front door. Outside, the city lights blinked, a mix of neon and street lamps. My breath came steady. I unlocked the door to my apartment and pushed it open. The threshold felt different this time, not a barrier, not a trap, not a prison. Just a door. An entry point. I stepped inside, letting the click of the lock echo like punctuation. New beginnings, I whispered. Finally. I walked to the living room, setting down my keys and jacket. No looking back. Not at Madison. Not at Ryan. Not at the old Ethan who needed them to define him. I pulled the curtains back and let the city in. Lights, noise, life, mine to experience on my terms. I sat on the couch, exhaled, and for the first time in what felt like forever, felt peace. Not shallow, not temporary. Real. Solid. Quiet but powerful. The red sweater was gone, the letter tucked away, the past acknowledged but powerless. I smiled faintly, a curve of lips that meant everything. I'm ready. I opened my laptop, ready to write the next chapter. Not to anyone, not for anyone, just for me. The city hummed around me. The night stretched wide and full. And I finally walked through the door I had never planned to open again, stepping fully into life I had earned. I met Lucas at the volunteer training site early morning. Morning, Ethan, he said, grinning. Ready to push limits again? Yeah, I said, feeling lighter than I have in months. Let's do this. He clapped me on the back. You've changed. I can see it. Not just physically, man, mentally. I nodded. I've had time. Space. Therapy. Perspective. I'm stronger now. Not perfect, but stronger. Lucas laughed. That's all anyone can hope for. You look calm. Not quiet, not subdued, just solid. Solid's good, I said, adjusting my gloves. Better than broken. Better than angry. Better than them. Exactly, he said. You finally own your fire instead of letting it burn you. Later, during a break, Olivia Perez found me sipping water near the truck. Hey, she said. I heard about your promotion. Congratulations. Thanks, I said, smiling genuinely. Feels right. Feels like all those months of chaos led somewhere good. Chaos builds strength, she said. You survived betrayal, heartbreak, humiliation, and came out calm. Not numb, not angry. Calm. That's rare. I laughed softly. Rare feels good. I've spent so long reacting instead of living. Now I react only when it matters, to me, to my life. She nodded. Exactly. You're learning the best kind of justice. Personal growth. I keep thinking about the past, I admitted. About Madison, Ryan, the red sweater, the lies, the heartbreak. And it doesn't hurt the way it used to. Not because I forgive, not because I forget. But because I don't let it live in me anymore. Good, she said. That's self-respect. That's freedom. After training, I went home. The apartment felt quiet, alive. I looked in the mirror and studied myself. A different man stared back. Same eyes, same face, but deeper. Hardened, healed, aware. I whispered, almost to test it, I survived. I am more than my pain. I thought about Madison and Ryan. Not with anger. Not with longing. Just observation. Their choices shaped them. Mine shaped me. I picked up my phone. No messages. No excuses. Silence. Later, Lucas called. Hey, want to grab dinner? Sure, I said. I think I'm finally ready to enjoy it. We ate, talked, laughed. Normal things. Mundane things. But I felt fully present, fully alive. I thought about the letters, the red sweater, the nights I drove aimlessly, the therapy sessions, the workouts, the volunteering. Every step brought me here. Every scar, every tear, every angry thought was a lesson, a brick in the foundation of who I became. I wrote in my journal later, words flowing easily, I am not who I was. I am more. I am alive. I am free. I choose myself every day. The city outside my window pulsed with life. I felt connected, grounded. Not dependent, not waiting. Moving forward. I caught my reflection again. Smiled faintly. You've done it, Ethan, I said quietly. You survived. You built yourself. Silence surrounded me. No chaos, no cries, no accusations. Just calm, solid calm. And I whispered the words I'd waited so long to feel completely true. Madison and Ryan broke me. But the man I became afterward? They can't touch him. I set the pen down, closed my journal. Not a trace of bitterness lingered. Only clarity, strength, and an unshakable sense of self. I stood and walked to the balcony. The city lights reflected in my eyes. I inhaled deeply, felt the night air fill my lungs. The past was gone. The present was mine. And the future, my life, fully lived, fully chosen, awaited. I smiled, a quiet, satisfied smile. Not triumphant. Not victorious in spite of them. Just victorious over the old me. I was home. Finally.